name is Morgan. Morg for short, or Gan. Except no one has ever called me that to my knowledge. Anyways, today I'm here to talk about my mom. And no, not the one who birthed me, but the very controversial game of 2010, Metroid Other M. Fortunately, I've been seeing a lot of negative reviews, and yes, I like Other M. I am one of those Metroid fans. But all I would like to communicate is why Metroid Other M is not a bad game. I will talk about the pros and cons of this baby, but mostly the pros. Honestly, I think the game is really quite good.
Ah! You don't know anything about Metroid Other M. It is the stupidest Metroid game out there, and the only people who join are mentally retarded squirrels who couldn't even find their own nuts in the winter.
Huh?
You heard me.
Right, so what are you even doing here anyways in my review?
I'm the Angry British Reviewer, and it is my job to hate on bad video games like that atrocity you call Metroid Other M.
But you don't even speak in a British accent.
Neither do you. Metroid Other M is the biggest atrocity to ever grace the once great Metroid series. Ever. It destroyed years of hard work and a carefully crafted universe. Nintendo might as well have released a game that made the screen go black, because that's coincidentally what the game does to your TV screen and your brain.
By the way, Honshaw first. Anyways, let's do this review. Metroid Other M!
Here we go. Personality. My toast is done. One of the major complaints about Metroid Other M is the fact Samus's personality is, well, weak. But I would argue otherwise. Let's start by counting the games she actually has any personality in. Let's see, there's Super Metroid, where she talks at the beginning. No, wait, that's not really personality, it's more of a brief explanation on the situation. Huh, wow, that rhymed. Oh, and there's Metroid Prime. Wait, no, she just kind of stoically looks at the screen. Oh, or there was that one time in Prime 3 where she doesn't say anything at all. Oh. Well, forget about those. There's always Prime 2. In that scene where Dark Samus and Samus are fighting and they start shooting at each other, that's personality, right? Yeah, okay. The only Metroid game before Other M she actually communicates any emotion to the player is during Fusion. It's not much, but we the players understand just a tiny bit more about our galactic heroine. The fact she doesn't really like to take orders, or the fact she was fearful of going into the mission, that there was someone named Adam Malkovich from her past that she respected, or her intolerance of the Galactic Federation. All of that was from Fusion. Other than that, none of the previous games had even attempted at letting her speak. Saying Other M destroyed her character automatically certifies you for stupidity. There is no character before Other M, other than a girl who goes around shooting parasitic life forms. It would be like saying that they destroyed the architecture of some building when there was previously nothing standing there. They pulled out the recipe for Space Chick personality and whipped up a batch from scratch. Another rhyme. I should be a rapper. Yoshio Sakamoto made the character he always imagined. A girl who has a hard time feeling like she belongs, who is fearful, who has deep-seated hatreds inside her heart, and is most certainly emotionally damaged. I would say the major flaw of her personality of the game is, one, her voice actress.
That information is not for an outsider.
The word he so obviously chose, outsider, pierced my heart.
I don't really know much about the Japanese games and their voice actress, but I most certainly know the one in America. The monotone sound of her voice encapsulated my soul. I searched for an escape, but there was none. And let's clear this up. The voice acting was not downright awful to listen to, but it certainly wasn't good. I am sure the person who did the job is actually a decent actress, but this was not her best work. Truly, Samus is a stoic person, and maybe that's what those other games did contribute. But that doesn't mean she needs to sound like that. In the game, it is clear that her emotions are running high throughout the scenario, because she has to complete a mission with a man she views as her own father figure, Commander Adam Malkovich. The other problem would be the script.
Confession time.
I hate that line. Honestly, the script is not worded properly at all. They needed just to reword it more. Otherwise, some of the dialogue just comes off more as awkward. It worked well for some of the scenes like, "Mother, time to go!" So, overall, character suffered mainly from bad scripting and below par voice acting. Oh wait, the Ridley scene, right. We'll talk about that more in story. Story time! Our tale begins in a galaxy far, far away. A long time into the future. The epic battle between the brain and the genocidal maniac. Just when Mother thinks she has defeated her ultimate foe, the baby rushes in. I'm sorry, it's just that I get so emotional when I watch the baby Metroid sacrifice its life for Samus. It's too much. What? Grown men cry? Deal with it. Sometimes I sit on my couch doing nothing but crying. Everyone does that, right? Guys? Anyone? Anyways, such a classic scene from a video game history, rendered so beautifully, it makes me shed tears of pure joy. And
For the love of all that is, Metroid Prime, stop speaking.
What? You know Likey the story?
No, it's about as original as running a turtle with a lawnmower.
Ow! That's so stupid.
Exactly. My point is, no, just about story would be that freaking bad.
Really?
Really.
Because I can think of at least 2 stories that are very similar to Other M.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Uh-huh.
Prove it.
I will.
Well, we'll see about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Back to the review.
so let me ask you as a general plot question, what is wrong with the game's story? No. Don't answer that. Allow me. A renowned bounty hunter answers a distress signal coming from somewhere near in space. Feeling down because she has just lost the comfort of the baby Metroid, Samus needs something to preoccupy her mind. Investigating a space station, aptly named the Bottle Ship, she runs into a unit of Federation Marines headed by her father figure, Adam. Adam considers her an outsider after she left the Federation. This pierces Samus's heart, because she clearly respects the man. She decides to stick around to protect the team after running into some of the most terrifying insects ever. Poor Lyle. Poor Lyle. Adam agrees to let her stay as long as she doesn't blow the whole place up and follows his every command. They soon discovered the facility was used to develop biological weapons like Unix or Jar Jar Binks. They also discovered the Galactic Federation is trying to resurrect the space pirate army. Higher powers attached a traitor to sabotage the team and to recover the Metroids that they were trying to develop. Did I mention? Yeah, they're immune to ice. Samus tries for redemption from her previous encounters at arguing with Adam's every word, although she once again fails and argues with him. He sacrifices himself, destroying the Metroid and MB's, a Mother Brain recreation in human form, plan to assault the Federation. In all this excitement, Clint Eastwood loses count of his bullets, and Tony Stark, the deleter, ends up dying. Samus saves Madeline Bergman, a scientist who causes all this mayhem, to remind the Federation of what they did, and to ensure that they did not repeat their mistakes. She leaves with Anthony, the only survivor of the platoon, and takes Madeline to safety. See, not bad, but let me compare it to some famous Hollywood movies. Alien. A space team lands on a planet emitting an unidentifiable signal, only to find a horrible monster that destroys almost all of them. Not to mention they have a traitor android trying to capture the beast for weapon purposes. Not good enough for you? Fine then. Jurassic Park. Come to find out, a crazy old man has been performing biological engineering that would clearly be illegal if anyone knew. The traitor ends up killing almost all of them, including himself. So, yeah, the stories aren't the same, but they have very similar qualities in their storyline. The story was fine. The major difference between the movies and Other M was that they had great scripts and great actors. Other M did not. Now for the Ridley scene, and why it was not the worst scene. In this scene, Samus is confronted with her arch-rival, a giant space dragon named Ridley. She freaks out and has a breakdown that causes her to lose the mental capacity to keep her suit on. True, she has faced Ridley countless times before in previous games, but this time is different. One, This great space pirate leader was solely responsible for killing her parents. And two, she truly believed he was dead this time. She thought she had rid her life forever of that awful creature. Revenge was complete. But come to find out, her hate could not rest. The genius Galactic Federation decided to bring him back to life. Yes, that's why you should be careful when playing with unknown DNA strands and trying to recreate their life forms. You can't say that that wouldn't cause a mental breakdown, especially to someone who is already emotionally distraught. My main complaint about the scene was it was a missed opportunity to show more background from her on K2L. Anyone who knows nothing about the series is completely at a loss for words on this scene. If they added a cutscene with her parents dying and the whole invasion thing, it would be fine. In fact, I wouldn't complain about that part except for that one weird wargle. Even if you think the story is dumb, you can still appreciate the fact that Fusion is set up wonderfully. Fusion makes so much more sense now. And I know they have the same story, but basically every Metroid has the same story. Hey Samus, I want you to go here and blow stuff up. Sounds good? Good. Gameplay! One word. Linear, awesome, epic, fun, thrilling, exciting, action-packed, intense, pure joy! I don't care if it is linear. It is a great action game. And even if it is more linear than Fusion, I would just like to point out once again, I don't care. Everyone complains that Metroid Other M went way too retro and reused too many bosses, Nightmare or Phantom, but when they tried a different style of gameplay, people flip. Seriously. It is a good way to expand the Metroid series. It has close hand-to-hand combat, which would make sense for her to be able to do. It just makes her that much cooler. And the speed. Oh, the speed. She can actually move in Other M, unlike the Prime games where she moves like a freaking tank. Seriously, can you move any slower?
But her movement gives the character soul.
No, it really doesn't. What gives her character soul is the different way she kills enemies, like shooting Ridley up the mouth, or doing an execution-style kill on the space parts. Walking slowly is because Samus was just too slow. It had nothing to do with her character. Moving slow is for dramatic moments, not for every single second. However, the controls were maybe not the best decision. Sure, it was awesome to create a game where you could only have to pull out the Wiimote and play, but you couldn't move in any direction you wanted to for the lack of analog. Besides, I think they made up for it by the way she moves automatically and turns around the corners and jumps over the undergrowth blocking the way.
But she auto-targets, and that takes all the fun out of the game.
Yes, she does auto-target, but it makes the game move at a faster pace, which is what they were trying to create anyways.
Well, I would rather be playing Prime.
Good point, actually. Prime's the not-so-forgotten games. People would have you think that Other M completely disregards the Primes, but it doesn't. It even takes inspirations from them. For the most recent of Metroid players, the Prime games have been the main game on their dais. It has been a while since most modern gamers have actually picked up an SNES controller and played the Super game. So that is why Nintendo tediously went through the effort of advertising all the older Metroids to remind people what the sacred code of Metroid was founded upon. It's no coincidence that they had been working hard to promote that old-school awesomeness.
It was the first joint mission I'd been a part of since becoming a freelance bounty hunter.
Huh, that's not true. They're on a joint mission in Prime 3.
Did you play Prime 3? You spend almost the entire game alone, hunting down your partners because someone corrupted them with Phazon. Not to mention, they took two weapons from the Prime series, the Seeker Missile and the Super Missile, Metroid Prime style.
Well, Metroid Other M doesn't have scanning, and that was a very nice feature.
I hate scanning!